During the pandemic, I lost 20 pounds and turned positive on April 7, 1 week after we opened as a COVID referral hospital. I think the first difficult step was to deciding to be a COVID referral center. But if you are an administrator of a big hospital like PGH, you read the signs. So the ER was getting inundated with remember the PUIs, you know? Everyone was PUI. So they were really flooding the hospital. I realized that, you know, other hospitals are experiencing the same. So taking after the Wuhan model, where they concentrated patients in a 1,000-bed facility, you know, I suggested that to the officers in the DOH, and we got to sit down. The naidus of the 3 referral hospitals, Lung Center, PGH, and Jose Rodriguez Hospital. It took us a week to reconfigure the whole of PGH. The flow of patients, the big 4 wards that we used were seen by top architects and engineers. Ginawang unidirectional natural airflow ventilation yung wards. PGH was the biggest COVID referral center then, but it was the most affected also because of the training and research that we're going to close. As soon as we declared ourselves as COVID referral center, support came in from government, from private. The extra attention made us a favorite budget grantee of the government because we had all the right to ask for, you know, improvements of the hospital. So it has put us in a better financial situation. What we did was rationalize the flow of patients by requesting the Department of Health to send only documented COVID-positive patients. They can send us the worst of the worst, but send us the already positive because it's difficult to be mixing positive and negative. We were fortunate that all the scientists are here. No? The science behind what we do is probably also what made us confident. I mean, we were not inventing processes or interventions. That's one thing that really also gave us confidence. I think it's really like a war. No one knew what will happen. You didn't know what COVID was. The medicines available were not there yet. One of my parang generals, the head of ICU, kasi narinig namin, namatay na yung anesthesiologist ko, the cardiologist, the pediatrician. And sabi sa akin, Gap, ayokong mamatay. That is the kind of concern that I need to address 24 hours a day. I promise that no one will die. So I had to make sure that, you know, we had all the PPEs, no matter how expensive they are. We had the best respirators so that they don't spread out the virus in the ICU. We had the best surgical equipment so that they're all anesthesia equipment. So again, the virus doesn't spread in the OR. And then I had to make deals in the middle of the day, in the middle of the night, because there's a shipment of PPE coming in. So it was a 24-hour thing, and the team was always available. The team was really very supportive. Ang primary function kasi ng PGH nun is training. Actually, nakasulat sa isang executive order. But if you analyze what's been happening, laboratory specimen ng mga pasyente, ganun ang orientation ng mga tao, pag-aaralan namin kayo. A training hospital is a money-losing venture actually. It's expensive to run a training hospital. Lalo na if you want to run a hospital like PGH, ang gusto mo na standard is international. What we're doing is creating the UP health system. So if you want to train and serve and do research, PGH Manila is not enough. So that's why we're thinking of PGH in Diliman, PGH in Davao, in Cebu, Los Baños. So we're their major UP campuses. We have a training and research hospital under the wings of the UP system. In fact, there's a PGH in New Clark City already. It's a polyclinic, so that's the site where we will have our sports medicine specialists serve the athletes of they call it the National Sports Academy. And then we were tasked to organize and operate the OFW hospital. So this will also be, aside from serving OFWs, you'll also be training our family medicine doctors, our other specialties to be in a specialty hospital like an OFW. So we're spreading. Kasi hindi naman kaya ng Manila lang lahat. When I became director, we shifted the purpose of PGH, publicly announcing that it's really more for service rather than training. So we were all improving our ability to serve. We are also reorienting the way we serve. If you look at the medical scenery landscape in the country, there's a PGH graduate heading a hospital or a department or being the expert in that particular field. So I think we produce fairly the majority of the eventually who become leaders in their field. We are trying to elevate the standards of PGH beyond our usual government hospital, technology-wise. We now have robotic surgery in PGH, the most advanced laparoscopic units here. We have intraoperative radiotherapy that allows you to give radiation right after taking out the tumor. Even our dermatology has a one-of-a-kind pico laser that removes all the blemishes and even tattoos. Our cardiology is one of only 3 centers that does radiofrequency ablation to treat the irregular heartbeat. We have one machine that only in the whole country we have. It's called the magnetic resonance image guided high focus ultrasound, a very unique Filipino disease called X-linked dystonia in Panay. So we engage with institutions like PricewaterhouseCoopers or IFC World Bank to teach us how to deal with public-private partnerships, improve our services. So we continue to collaborate with international universities, international hospitals. First, we have to study the mindset of these millennials. We have to understand how they're thinking, and only that way can we encourage them. I think what's important now is to make everyone realize that the new doctors are very much keen on a life-work balance more than our generation whose life was medicine. We cannot train them the way we were trained. Di ba? Ang medicine hierarchical pa rin and also traditional. Ganito ko, it worked well for me, it should work for you. Hindi na pwede yan. Sa residency naman, after their school, di ba, they come to us for training. Hindi na rin pwede yung hindi mo patutulogin ng 24 hours. Every last Friday of the month, we have a Friday at the Atrium. It's a jam session. Anyone comes there, we have some food and non-alcoholic drinks. Iba na talaga. Kung pag hindi mo ginawa yan, hindi na magdodoktor ang mga bata. Yeah. So now we are in a healthcare workers shelter program. Now we're improving all the dorms. We're renovating the dorms. We have mental wellness activities. We have burnout policies. Recently, we instituted the family time. We give you 4 days in a week. I think every quarter to go home. The Department of Psychiatry made the research, asking them what caused you the biggest anxiety or stress. The number one answer across all personnel, doctors, nurses, is endangering their colleague, meaning putting their colleague in harm's way. Imagine, they could have said me dying or my family, but their number one answer was their colleagues getting sick. So I think that was the mentality at the start. As an administrator, I think it gave us the realization that people are still our most valuable resource. The coin nga in PGH is people giving hope. When I wrote that letter to the PGH community, I entitled to the people giving hope. Sinasabi ko sa flag ceremony, sigurado ko wala pong nasa PGH para yumaman.